What's up guys, Zalaki here, and you all know that I've been kind of hooked on cameras and gear and just everything about film lately. So I wanted to do a video, the G85 versus the GH5. I have no cons to either of these cameras right now. I know there are little things that people are bothered by because of them. The main issue that people don't like over the Micro Four Thirds lineup is low light capability, which when you have a smaller sensor, that's bound to happen. You won't get as good, I guess you could say, quality in low light as a full frame camera, such as the A7S or the A7S II. Those have amazing low light capability, but they're full frame cameras. I just wanted to give you my opinion on the G85 versus the GH5 and what I think they're made for. Who would benefit most from either one? Now that I've had this camera, the GH5, for a while, I definitely recommend this to somebody who knows a little more about cinema and filming and video and just everything about that in general. I would expect them to know more so that they can get the best bang for their buck out of this camera. There's so many features packed inside: the 4K 60 FPS, the 1080p 180 FPS, the vlog with all the firmware updates coming up. This is Panasonic's flagship camera. This is their main camera to compete with everybody else, and they're pushing out updates regularly to make it better, to improve it. The next firmware update is going to have an autofocus improvement, which is, wow, an autofocus improvement? That was the main reason why people didn't want to buy this camera, was because of the autofocus. They thought, oh, it doesn't have autofocus, I can't vlog with it, what a garbage camera. But you don't need the autofocus to be perfect to get the best out of this camera. Now that they're going to improve it though, it's going to make this camera one of the best. It's going to make it a contender for one of the better cameras on the market for video. And it still does an amazing job with stills too. I will say though, I really wish I spent more time with the G85. This camera, for the price, it does a dang good job at everything you throw at it. You still get you still get 4K 30 FPS. You don't get the 60 like you do in here, but you still get 4K 30. You get 1080p 60 FPS, so if you still want to do some slow motion, you can. The convenience of this camera over this is by far the size. Micro Four Thirds was meant to be lighter, easier, more compact. Yes, the GH5 is a lot smaller than some cameras, like the Canon, was it the 5D Mark IV? Yeah, I believe it's a 5D. That thing's pretty damn big. Pretty dang big. So to get something 4K 30 FPS, get slow motion still in a way, and be able to take amazing photos and still have crispy footage, this camera is amazing. If you're a beginner and you're learning to shoot, I definitely recommend going with something more on the lines of this, because there's not as much features to get lost in. With this camera right now, there's a lot of stuff that I'm learning, I'm trying to figure out. I've had it for a few months now and I'm still learning stuff new till this day. This one, it's not as much, it's not as just mind-boggling. You can kind of jump in, start using it, figure things out, and you'll be good to go. If you want to start vlogging or you want to start making YouTube videos, this camera is a really good way to start off. There is a lower model, the G7, which I'm filming with right now, to record these two side by side so you can see them. Also a very capable camera, but only if you're doing stills, like if you have it on a tripod. You don't want to use it for moving around, walking around. That's why it doesn't really compete with these two cameras. Both of these cameras have amazing IBIS, which is in-body image stabilization, which is something you really want if you're going to be doing video and you don't want to have it on a tripod or you don't want to just stand still. You can still do nice, smooth walking shots or panning shots while you're moving, as long as you're careful with how you walk. Both of them, great IBIS, best in the market as of right now. So if you're somebody new, you're trying to get the grasp on film or jumping into YouTube, starting something new, go with the G85. You get the weather sealed body, you get the kit lens. It comes with the 12-60 kit lens, which is great. You get wide angle, you get zoom, the best of both worlds until you get to learn more of what you want. Do you want more wide angles? Do you want longer zoom? Do you want to do wildlife? Get a handle on this. I really wish I did that and I didn't go spend the money on this, but I'm not disappointed. I'm really excited about having this camera, and I definitely recommend this to anybody looking to upgrade from, say, they've had the G85 for a while or the G7, or you've had the GH4. This camera is definitely worth the upgrade. So if I were you, look into it. If you can get a deal on it, even better. If you can find it used or open box, buy it. It's worth it. Every penny, it's worth it. So like I said, new, pro. New, pro. Maybe semi-pro. Maybe semi-pro. This one's just a lot easier to carry around. This is the camera I want to take with me on traveling or going to see family, hang out with friends, because it's so much lighter. It's so much more compact and easier to take with you. And especially when you're going to add a lens on like this, it's pretty big. So if you're adding a lens on like this is a Sigma 18-35 1.8. You add a lens like that onto it, it adds some heft. It makes it a lot bulkier than it's supposed to be. So let's just say I put it on this one right here. Okay. See, so now this is the Sigma 18-35 on the G85. And look at that. It's ridiculous how big the lens is bigger than the camera itself. It's ridiculous. So, and it kind of makes it not really proportionable, or proportion, I don't know the word for it. But the lens is so heavy, it's like you're holding it and you have to use two hands, but even at that, you're holding the lens. Like, you don't even need to hold the camera at this point. With the GH5, it has enough weight that if you're going to be using full frame lenses or anything like that, you're going to be able to balance it out pretty evenly. So the G85 also I recommend more for travel, for family, for vlogging. And again, the GH5 more for B-roll, for YouTube videos, for slow motion, anything you want to do 4K. Just more professionally done, more time and thought spent into your shots. This, you can get away with just turning it around vlogging. And it's a good camera, weatherproofed and everything. There I go, rambling on and on again about camera stuff. Well, that pretty much wraps it up, guys. So if you're new or interested in getting a high quality camera for vlogging, for your family stuff, definitely go with the G85. If you're looking to step your game up and jump into cinematography at its finest, go for the G85. You won't be disappointed. There's so many features packed into this. It's just an amazing camera. You won't be disappointed. You will be blown away once you start to use it. My mind is still every time I use it. So definitely check out the GH5 if that's what you're looking for. By all means, I am no professional, I am no expert. I'm just giving you guys my opinion on these cameras and what I think is the clear verdict for who they should be used for and why. So overall, I want to say the winner to me is the GH5 just because it packs more features. It's just overall the better camera. But if you want portable, you're jumping down to micro four thirds because you want a smaller camera but it still does everything, the G85 is the way to go. I just wanted to share my information with you guys and how my experiences using them crafted on what I think about how these cameras are and how they work, what they're good for. I did use the G85 for not too long, just for a little bit. The GH5 I've been using as my daily driver ever since I got it. So I am in love with this camera. I'm still learning it. There's still so much there for me to learn. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it wasn't much. It was another camera thing. Like I said, I love camera gear. I love learning about film. I love just shooting film. Now the hard part is learning the editing. I'm trying to get better at it. I hope in future videos I will improve, make the content 10 times better from here on out. Till next time, guys, like, subscribe, share if you can, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.